They, Parabellum have a very good Chalet record, in fact. I know Penguin in particular, and I'm going to say this right now because this is the CL freaking Grand Finals. Penguin, he likes to claim that Parabellum have the best Chalet in NA.
Humble.
I'm going to tell all of you that right now.
Humbly, he says that, by the way.
Yep. He, I talked to Keegan a fair bit. He's a very close friend of mine, and he says that all the time. He says they never lose Chalet in scrims. He thinks they have the best Chalet in NA. So if they lose it right here to Arial Rise, I want to see a bit of clowning on Twitter, because I know I will. But still, that begs the question. I mean, Penguin's not going to be this confident in a map for nothing, and he's gone on record saying that he doesn't like Club. They were still able to take it 8-7. This, in my mind at least, just because of even what Penguin says aside, just past history, Chalet is PB's playground.
It is looking good for them going into this. We can certainly all agree with them on that. Even me, the lone Arial Rise predictors, say that Chalet, in theory, looks like their map. Also, Gomez for a second pick the Nook. I wanted to see if he might 6-pick off of that, or off the Yana to it. Unfortunately, he will pick Yana, who I guess is a useful operator, I suppose. But for their attacking lineup, I know, that's what I'm saying. I would love to see a Nook. Last time I saw a Nook on Chalet was like Raffi back on PDHM in Stage 1. And that didn't end well, in all fairness. But anyway, attacking lineup from Arial Rise. Flores, very common on Chalet, Harrison, as you know. Use those Rotero drones to clear out the library shield. Also, maybe try to route out the player from Pillar. You can sometimes also destroy those Rotero drones if they end up driving by. We also see Kento move to the Twitch, which could also be useful. Saw Swaylin play a lot of that on one shot, all the way back against IF to great effect. Could be used to clear out those ADSs littering around that library shield. Really anything that could be feasibly destroyable by a Twitch laser. I imagine we'll try to see Kento work his drone in alongside those Rotero drones to those various positions to try to destroy utility, either explosive or destructible, or just the ADS variety.
Parabellum, we've known them to have, again, some very creative defenses on Chalet, and you can be much more fluid with them than I feel like you can on Clubhouse. Parabellum, they're setting up upstairs because, of course, they are. Double castle barricades on the library connector with a rotate in the soft wall. In fact, it's a corner rotate connected by a shield. With the interesting little bunker that Spirits has for himself. Tag team with Melted on the library hold, at least for now, as I believe the Jaeger is upstairs joining them as well on top blue. How Arial Rise are going to deal with this, I'm definitely going to be very interested to see as we hear a Gone 6-shot rain out, though I'm not quite sure what it hit.
I'm not entirely sure either. There's a castle on the board. Perhaps it was a castle barricade. Not too sure, unfortunately.
All 4 castles are still up.
Well, then, Harrison, I just have simply no clue. But what I do know is Wimpy is not
inside.
Wimpy has not taken that engagement again. He somehow managed to enter library, but never mind. Spirits takes that engagement for him. That is very curious play made, and oh my god. Map 3 for NAL relegations, everybody.
We have a TK. Penguin, though, makes up for it. He pushes right out and slams Kento. Twitch dead. Wimpy and Penguin on comparable levels of HP, though Eska is down to just about half. The thing is, though, this shield is still here, and Kool-Aid is perfectly happy to stay upstairs for as long as possible. Despite being droned and the pings coming out, he will persist. He's even got an ADS to help him, and the Flores drones have not come out from Diaz left. We only have a minute 15 in the round, and he's still got all 4. Why is Diaz not used them yet? Did he just forget he's Flores? Finally, he'll send out a Rotero drone. This will likely be to clear Kool-Aid's shield, and Kool-Aid will be unable to shoot it. So this position now null and void, but the Jaeger not keen on falling off just yet. He'll take a free fire back. He does have the protection of the castle barricades by library connector, so I imagine, yep, he'll fall back down blue, join his teammates on site, and make this a 3v3 execute.
With Wimpy on low HP. 2 members of Parabellum on low HP as well. Penguin does still have his 3 toxic canisters, but he's getting the kills so far. Managed to find one either outside the window, I believe, but either way, that's diffuser dropped outside. So if Arial want to go for that plant, they'll have to rotate out and get it. But as at this moment, a 2v3 hopping in through that window, getting the bomb down with only one player as your coverage is going to be extremely difficult, especially with the minimal holes DS Lucas has at his disposal. But Kool-Aid manages to thread the needle, land the shot directly into DS's skull. Wimpy's got to jump on in. Frostmat below manages to shoot it. Frag grenade covers his entry. He's made his way behind the small little half wall, but he can't spot Kool-Aid peeking him through the rotate hole. Might have been messy. Might have resulted in a weird couple engagements to start out. PB will take the first round.
Yeah, despite Spirits doing that.
Yeah, that was just such a strange... I don't know why he did that.
And Penguin team killing Melted, still the round for PB, what was that? I believe that was 2 for Penguin, 3 for Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Both of them getting all 5 kills. A wonderful recovery, especially off that library hold. Kool-Aid wasting so much time knowing he's still got the ADS at his side. The shield is still up. No one's pressuring him from the office balcony. No one's pressuring him from Ivy. It's all one-dimensional from Arial Arise. That is my biggest point about that attack. It was all library and nothing else.
Harrison, I think part of the reason we didn't see DS Lucas use his Rotero drones is they were like, all right, we'll get control of library and then we'll do our thing. But if you can't get control of library very easily, you're not going to use those Rotero drones. Normally what we see is they come from the office side and they use them over there, but in this case, no. And it's because of that one-dimensionality, as you so pointed out. One thing we have seen on Chalet so far is a trend towards basement as a preferred site over master bedroom and office. And this is what that indicates right here. Second site played. No office, no kitchen dining. Parabellum are going to basement as their second site to play. One thing I've said is that more often than not, you need a roam to make this site work, whether it's holding dining, moving around the map, whatever. Right now, Spirits might be holding inside a pillar. We have one reinforcement, but no, in all likelihood, rotating back to the northeastern side of the map. But if this roam does not work, or if it goes unpunished, that could be the deciding factor as to whether or not Arial Arise go down 0-2.
And this roam is just, so important. Garage really relies upon it. Your roam has to be successful to win this site. There's very few times where it's going to come down to good anchor game. So Spirits and Melted all the way on the top floor. I think we had, who was it? Was that Eska on the middle floor?
I believe so.
I believe so. That is evil.
That is a disgusting angle.
Oh, but he'll nearly get shot through the solar repel windows. Spirits is going to back off. Is the player going to be on the double in time? No, they will land a bullet into the Jaeger's back as he retreats, but the control is forfeit. Fortunately, no kill for Arial Arise, and Spirits gets away, but he'll live another day in this roam. Still persists. No kill for Arial just yet. All 3 holding strong.
Do manage to get that solar control, though, and that is so important if you want to clear out this roam later on. Gomez right now by himself moving down below. Beastly could go for some support. Unfortunately, I believe missed that flashbang to burn that Renegade, so a little bit of extra utility he has to use, but nothing going to be too worried about. You can see Gomez waiting for this wall to open so we can send the Yana clone in and burn that Renegade, covering one of the panels of that wall. Penguin right now holding close inside of blue is not the first to get that kill. It is Kool-Aid onto Wimpy, all the way on that long angle through that shield. Managed to take him down. And now one key position you should keep your eyes on, in addition to Kool-Aid, is Penguin playing behind that shield. That spot single-handedly stopped a rush by Wichita Wolves. And right now, it's doing a hell of a lot for PB as well. Gomez takes a lot of damage trying to push through that hole, clear some of that utility, and until they dislodge Kool-Aid and Penguin, if they want to push wine, they're walking directly into a crossfire.
Yeah, those nades used more for the red wall rather than the main breach, which is what Hibana was trying to get. Eventually, the Flores comes in. He deals away with both the Electroclaw and the shield, though he can't make any headway with any more of those Rotero drones to try and get rid of the Cade's shield, because this is the one that is so important. It can cover not only that red breach, but also the main doorway. And finally, the Flores will get it in. Kool-Aid needing to rotate gets caught, but Gomez refragged by the smoke. Spirits now back on the site, holding connection connector finds the headshot on Kento, and it's Diaz and Beastly, the two support players, in a 2 versus 4. Melted tagged up just a bit thanks to the pre-fire, and a beautiful headshot comes in from Diaz, but there's only 15 seconds left, and this time might come back to haunt Arial Arise. Diaz will flash in over towards blue. That'll force Penguin to rotate off, allow the entry, but Beastly gets stuck. It's easy pickings for Eska. Diaz finds the trade, sure, but Penguin now backed off. He just has to hide, and though Eska goes down, PB still win off the clock.
And confoundingly, Harrison, the roam was not in any way, shape, or form the deciding factor in that round. It did waste some time, so it's not like it was completely useless. Wasted about 1:10. But beyond that, Arial Rise rotated down. They tried to go for that direct take, but here we have Kool-Aid and Penguin. The two brothers, both behind a shield, one outside of blue, one on the wine little table behind the red wall. Most of the utility dedicated by Arial Arise was meant to try to take down Kool-Aid. And it took a lot of time, but it did manage to work. Once they opened that wall, they sent a Rotera drone onto that shield, cleared him out, caught him on the rotate. That's what we needed to see. But the problem is they only dealt with one half of that crossfire. Penguin is still close, and there are players inside a big garage. Since the wall has not been opened and nobody is holding over there, whether it's vertically or horizontally, they can play there with impunity. They can hold those long angles, and in tandem with Penguin playing behind that shield, it is extremely difficult to get those frags you need on that entry into the site. Parabellum shut them down perfectly.
Excellent round. 2 defenses in a row from a typically attacker-sided map. Are we going to have a repeat of Clubhouse, Carter?
Please no, not on Chalet.
I highly doubt it.
Clubhouse, I could deal with that, but not Chalet.
I think this is just PB showing how much they've mastered the map. I mean, both strats we've seen so far are definitely not standard. I mean, Bar was close to default, but the shield was definitely not something that I, at least, have seen before. What? What?
Boom.
No. That's just cruel. That's illegal in several countries.
Yeah, that is a hell of an electric law to put down.
That's evil.
Well, good luck, Arial, to clear that one. Especially because they're starting out the solar side of things. They got to clear out spirits on these solar stairs before they can make their way into the meat of the roam. Frost is spotted, but unfortunately the drone makes its way a bit too far in, gets shot down. Actually, Harrison, we're 45 seconds in. Arial actually only have 5 drones on the board. Could not be a problem. They might be able to salvage a lot of that count, but keep your eye on that counter in the top left of your screen in case that becomes more important. Gomez right now is certainly keeping an eye on his health. Is a bit low HP, but Wimpy's just repelling on in, catches spirits both flashed and, well, just stuck in a corner, manages to take him down, almost gets the second as well. Him and Kool-Aid both trying to get jiggy with it, but it's Kool-Aid to come the victor in that engagement to even it up 4-4.
Yeah, Wimpy will trade himself out for the Jaeger on Solar, and sure, it's a lot of control now in favor of the attack, but you sacrifice your sledge for it, and on Dining, the vertical play is so important. They'll be sorely missing this sledge, though they do still have breaching charges on Kento. Look at this. Melted is still upstairs, and Kool-Aid has rotated to join him. In the meantime, a C4 from Eska. The pulse will find his mark as Beastly hits the floor, and Kento attempts to clear, but as he takes the launcher out, beautiful work from Kool-Aid to cover his teammate. Not only gives them a kill, but allows Melted out. They'll retreat back to the site as Gomez and Diaz, again, the Brazilian duo, stuck in a 2vx. Diaz takes through upstairs, joining Gomez down now at the bottom of Trophy. They have about a minute left to play with, so they're not too pressed for time, but this man count is just near insurmountable unless Parabellum give them the fights they're looking for. A Gone 6 will dispatch of the shield as Eska nearly takes a long-range gunfight with the UMP. He springs up again, forcing Diaz to back off and reload. Flash goes in. Are they going to push off of it? Eska's full blind? No, there's a gas canister lying in wait. Penguin with more good cover. Gomez takes a beating as he attempts to push up through the hallway. Can't find Kool-Aid, only damage. Neither of these attackers can find any kills until Diaz trades out Eska, but he's on such low HP, and only 20 seconds remain. Penguin still has a gas canister. He'll take the close angle. Diaz misses the shot. He'll eventually land it, but Kool-Aid trades, and PB take a perfect site rotation.
Well, might very well be trending the way of Clubhouse with the way PB are playing so far. Wimpy repels in, gets that first kill onto Spirits. Exactly what you want to see. They're able to clear out that solar stairs.
Top, here's the top.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's been kind of quiet in chat for a while now, so finally getting something that was hyped up.
They gave us
this
a
game.
break.
They did. They did give us a break.
How nice.
Map 3 as well. What better time for it? Wimpy gets Spirits, but then he peeks down the stairs, tries to start taking down Kool-Aid. Might be a bit risky of an engagement, of course. They are weary of the player coming up solar, but the main focus of that clear is still you have to clear out part of master bedroom and office and the players playing up there. Not necessarily take it completely, but as you said, get that vertical. But it's Wimpy who's been having an incredible day, don't get me wrong, but is he really the one that needs to be taking that engagement? With the important utility he has and still a player up top to clear, I think there was a misallocation of priorities there for Arial Arise that they didn't end up getting traded out. It was still a 4v4, but it ended up costing them a lot in the long run.
Bomb located by attackers.
Yeah, Ariel's, again, I think it's... Sure, it's okay to sacrifice someone in that situation, but Wimpy got a little greedy.
The Sledge, too, just like literally
Yeah.
anybody else.
If you're gonna sacrifice someone, you don't want it to be him.
10 seconds left.
Also, Carter, to poke fun at the desk a little bit.
5
We
seconds
can
to go.
harken back to their point of, when Penguin and Kool-Aid are fragging, especially Penguin, PB's not doing well. Yeah? Well, Kool-Aid's 7-1, Peng is 4-1, they're top
Yeah.
fragging, and PB are up 3-0.
Eat that!
So shut up. No Keegan slander around here.
Jameson Slander's fine.
Meanwhile, though, yeah. Well, see, he can't be that pretty and also not be made fun of. That's too much winning.
That's true.
Speaking of, unfortunately for Arial Arise, DS is currently the only player positive. And on a map like Chalet, a team like Arial and the way they play, I mean, you can just look at that scoreboard and tell that they're losing bad.
But thankfully here, they have an opening pick ripe for the taking if they can manage to make it work. There is some intel on one player playing just on the opposite side, a couple meters away from that window. It's Spirits at that rotate hole, but also I was referring to Melted, who has now rotated down. So the opening pick, the opportunity has gone away, and we see Penguin. You'd love to do this, Harrison. They love to have somebody rotate down, but as they rotate back, they make some holes to account for the entry for the team once they take that map control. But of course, until then, they have to deal with Spirits. But Gomez has just rotated into pillar. How has he found himself there? Kool-Aid maybe getting a little bit careless on his watch, manages to redeem himself, get the opening pick. Maybe Gomez now in hindsight getting a little too aggressive.
Yeah, Gomez tried for a play, but it looked like he was unaware of Kool-Aid's position. And while he did do a lot of damage to Spirits, I don't think that mere damage is worth your Iana. Though Kento, he's all the way downstairs, and
Yeah,
I don't really know what Eska was
he's putting
doing
the BP down.
Yeah, I think he was putting out a BP. Odd. As Penguin hits the floor, so does Spirits. And the man advantage Parabellum once had, well, it has dwindled. It has slipped away. Kool-Aid is going to attempt to retake up top. Beautiful
Wow.
shot onto Kento. The shield is still here. He can still play top blue.
Yes.
Leave Melted alone on the site, and this could be good for PB, though the last two defenders are separated with not much potential for trade. The utility dedicated to Kool-Aid's position is good, but he pushes out, gets aggressive, goes for a play. Wimpy catches him. That leaves Melted alone, and the best chance Arial Arise have had it around us yet.
Melted alone inside his stock. Rotero Drum forces him out of his position, but they do hear somebody in stock soon after. DS Lucas rounds up the kill. Arial do get that very first round on the board. On bar as well. One of the better sites for the Chalet defense overall. That is your first win. Not bad. Issue is, again, Parabellum have secured themselves a 3-3 half. This could prove to be a defender-sided Chalet, but until the trend is broken, you have to be weary of its effects if you end up adhering to it once you switch to the defense. But let's talk about that round. Spirits on low HP. You see Kento make that play, start to get that gunfight, or Gomez make that play to get that gunfight, but unfortunately he's not aware of Kool-Aid's position, ends up getting taken down. Unfortunate, maybe could have worked, but that's the risk you take when it's still a 5v5. The Jaeger could be somewhere in that area. You make that play, he's taken down. Spirits still allowed to be alive. Does get taken down by Kento. Same with the castle. Kento's two entries there are really the big thing I'm looking at in that round because Eska doesn't anticipate anybody to be fireplace. Kento creeps in silently, gets the kill, creeps up main stairs silently, gets the kill. That man advantage evaporates for PB, and while it might not be the most time left, still plenty for Arial Arise to transition, execute, and make that happen. So Kento, who's been a bit quiet through the series, those 2 kills were what defined that round.
Eska placing the BP.
I really, like, seriously? Guaranteeing the comms, he's like, oh, guys, I forgot it.
5 seconds remaining.
It was pretty funny.
Penguin's like, oh, yeah, we got to get Intel Fireplace. And he's like, Eska's like, what?
Well, we're back down to garage.
Basement.
Parabellum once again on the roam. Spirits holding over towards solar. Melted on the other side of the top floor. Eska in bar. Same roam setup. I'm sure the setup on site is the same as well, with the duo shields as well as the Electro Claw in the hands of Penguin and Kool-Aid. Arial Arise now need to clear in, and they're already doing a better job of it. Look at that. Twitch Drone is going to zap away the Electro Claw, so Arial Arise don't have to wait 2.5 minutes before they open that wall.
That is exactly what we needed to see right there. Not necessarily even better usage of the Twitch specifically, but just better util clear from Arial Arise, and they will do that successfully. Spirit's also now rotating into bedroom, spots a drone, not the person repelled, or actually not even repelled, standing outside that window. He gets a bit of intel, but beyond that, nothing much is gained. Again, 5 drones for Arial Arise, and only a minute has passed in the round. We'll see if that has any effect. Spirit's still holding inside a pillar, a little bit dangerous at the moment. By himself in that spot could be risky once Arial Arise, if they go for the clear up top. Does have one player down below, though. That is Eska. What he can do on the verticality is up for debate, but we'll see what happens once we get to the second half of this round. Diaz Lucas also with the Rotero drones starting to send those in. They're looking to get that red wall. Ooh, but Gomez with the long angle through the soft wall manages to get one, but Penguin rotates directly over the Rotero drone, manages to come away alive, but they take down Kool-Aid, the player who they took infinitely longer to clear the last time they attacked the site.
And he was the one who was helping to protect Penguin as Kento gets a kill onto Spirits as well. 5 versus 3, the defense from PB falling apart, but Penguin will get a nice kill on the Beastly, your primary planter, and one of your harder, well, your only hard breacher now dead. Penguin looking to continue getting aggressive as Melted has retaken the position Kool-Aid was once playing, but the smoke ends up paying the price. Eska gets a long shot with the Roni. Kento down. Here's the Rotero drone. Down goes the shield. No, it's actually muted. We'll see if there's any ADSs covering this position, but it's actually melted to peak. And what the man count? PB were down so low, but it's been retaken. 2-on-2. Diaz misses his flash. That's going to burn even more time. The sledge is just sprinting at the shield. Wimpy, what are you doing? It's Diaz in a 1v2 now as he attempted to solo push in the site against a shield.
Oh.
Diaz has 27 seconds remaining. And Eska and Melted are holding a mean crossfire. One over towards pillar, the other by the shelf. Melted will peek. He'll back off. Doesn't want to get aggressive. Instead, he is just distracting Diaz to allow Eska for the blue flank. And Parabellum, though they were on the back foot for much of that round, still secure the garage.
Much better clear Kool-Aid was certainly almost exactly what they needed. What Arial Arise needed to start out that round. They clear out that power position. Also they are allowed then to put a lot more pressure onto Penguin, which was their undoing in the end, because they cleared out Kool-Aid a bit later in the round on the first attempt, but it was Penguin and the rest of his team working around him that were the true issue that Arial Arise came into. Then, as you said, Harrison, almost miraculously it seemed, the man advantage suddenly collapses back into the favor of Parabellum. Of course, you had Wimpy walking through that shield, but the problems for Arial Arise were long before that. Perhaps it's a one-dimensional clear. Maybe it's a lack of vertical play. Looking down into the main stairs, maybe there's not much they can do in that regard. But Arial Arise and Basement, they have stuck to that one-dimensional clear coming from Big Garage every single time. And when it works, when you get those kills, it can certainly be great. But at the same time, even if it's in a 2v4, they know where you're pushing. And if you let your lineup get away from you, they can take advantage of that. That's the Arial Arise's biggest problem so far. On Bar, they love to push from Library and only Library. On Basement, they love to push from Big Garage and only Big Garage. They might send a player here or there every now and then, but beyond that, for 5 rounds on Chalet Attack, not something you really expect from this side of the map. Normally, we'd like to see at least another facet in general, and it's characteristic of the site, or the side.
I mean, even usually when people go full Big Garage, they at least have, like, someone out snowmobile. Just to deny all of that presence.
Or on the
Because you let
hatch?
Parabellum. Yeah, you just let Parabellum completely set up in garage. And well, that's powerful. Now we're going back to dining, where Parabellum have also won previously. Also, I saw something, Carter. I
What'd you
think
think of-
Arial Arise are being a bit more careless, or a bit less careful with their drones, because they have a Twitch and a Flores. So in essence, they have
Might be.
16 drones, which is a lot.
You also, you aren't exactly using those for terror drones to drawn out of position necessarily at times.
Yeah, but sometimes you can get some good intel on site.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. Right
They
now,
work in a pinch.
Right now, what Gomez is trying to get is some intel onto the player. Inside a trophy. Fortunately, that intel is simply not there. Throws up a nade. It is wasted, unfortunately. Kool-Aid far and away from that position. Maybe trying to get spirits as well, but he too is on stairs. Gomez will now cook his second nade to try to bank off the wall, but ooh, poor utility clear from Arial Arise, but the kill still going their way. Approximately 4 people on that northern side of the map, 2 on Repel. Wimpy rotates in. Kento's already inside of Master Bedroom. Man advantage strongly in the favor of Arial Arise now that Wimpy has single-handedly cleared out Solar Stairs and the player inhabiting that position. Harrison, if Arial Arise want to get even close to a 4-2 half, this certainly seems to be the time and the moment they can seize it.
Penguin, though, on his poison type beat. The flanking smoke, but they know he's up here and he will just get immediately collapsed upon. Well, that was disappointing. That leaves Kool-Aid and Eska 2 versus 5. And Kool-Aid does not have a C4. This is just going to come down to straight gunfights. Kool-Aid will get droned out and immediately killed from... I have no idea. Maybe above. But either way, Eska now, well, I was going to say he's going to have to ace, but he's going to do nothing. He'll get finished off by a crouch-walking player down towards short, and Parabellum, well, that defense... Yeah. Arrow up. Let's just say Arial Arise knew exactly how to take it. There's 1/2.
Yes, but it's a 4-2 half.
It is. It's still 4-2 after Chalet defense.
Maybe. Maybe it's
Maybe
just a
we have a
defender-sided
defender-sided
day.
Chalet. We'd also say, you know... well, actually... PB are strong attacking teams. Spirits is 1-6, though.
That is actually true. Also, really,
That's odd.
also in all fairness, Kool-Aid does have the most kills sitting inside a
He
site.
does.
So
He's 9-4.
if we are talking about the attack, obviously, you know, Kool-Aid and Penguin having the most kills, super great. Big fan. Love to see the hard supports getting some love. Penguin is now in the entry. So here's what I will say. Penguin can get aggressive. He's able to get those kills, go for those entries. He's clearly confident today. That's what you need. But Spirits and Eska, or not Eska, just Spirits really, having a quiet map, a bit dangerous, especially since how explosive Spirits has been in the series so far.
He's on Finca, though, and I'm a bit scared.
Yes, that is true. However, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Finca is not going to be the secret sauce. You might need a little bit more.
I don't know. I've seen Zachary Spirits simply will rounds into existence with that.
He did do
thing.
that in
But
the IF game on Oregon.
He did. But we'll have to see. Of course, Arial Arise are also very, very skilled with their firearms, especially if you want to see Diaz 6-3, Wimpy 5-4, Kento 5-5, finally showing his face after having a bit of a quiet couple maps. Wimpy on the alibi as well is certainly a scary prospect, but a perfect toss. Diaz, the arc onto the balcony, cuts down the primary entry for PB.
Yeah, didn't see like Penguin moved at that one. Might not have even realized the fate that was arcing towards him at that very moment. You lose your Zofia. No Flores on the board as well. Losing those 2 impact lifelines, that is going to hurt. But of course, there are still 4 nades for Parabellum. They're not lacking completely in utility, but certainly a lot more worse for wear, with a third of their explosive arsenal now decimated by 1 explosive in turn. Spirit's currently holding the main door, seeing if anybody rotates Fireplace, or if for whatever reason somebody on Arial Arise decides to put a BP on one of the reinforcements inside his site. Barring that event, it'll probably be a fairly uneventful time for him on the main doorway right now, and what, in all likelihood, Parabellum need to have their work cut out for are clearing out these players in Pillar. It's exactly what Kool-Aid will do. Keno getting a bit aggressive, unaware of the sudden vault-in by the Hibana, loses his life, and that is the signal for Arial Arise that it's a 4v4, the man count is even, we need to vacate the premises and hold down the site.
Jameson loves to call that Chad pushing.
Yeah,
He does.
he does.
That's what he calls
And that was
that.
a Chad push.
It was. He walked in, said, someone's got to man up and take control, and it happened to be him. Now Eska's allowed to do the vertical play. DS, no C4 in pocket. Though, I just realized, PB didn't run Maestro a single round, and Arial will be rather fond of him. That's good intel into the site, and Beastly with the Alda can certainly do some good work. Wimpy will join his teammate towards bottom blue. A drone goes in sight, spots one of those Maestro cams, and they spot the Maestro himself over towards bar stock, just as Wimpy gets taken out by Kool-Aid. The man advantage swings into the favor of the attack, as Kool-Aid with the case is still upstairs, and he's going to start transitioning downwards as Gomez retakes up top. He's now got the hatch, but no, he misses shots against Kool-Aid, and the whiff will do him in. 3 kills for the Hibana, and that leaves DS alone as Spirits running the Finca LMG gets one of his own. DS, he'll land the headshot onto Melted, but the plant is going down, and there's no way for this Cade to deny it. It's post-plant now, 1v3, stuns coming out, they know he's there, and Kool-Aid will get the hell out of dodge, going upstairs just to enact the vertical superiority, but Eska's already there, and PB take a very well-orchestrated attack.
I mean, right there, we saw DS Lucas get that C4. Important piece of utility, expended early, but to good effect. You took down Penguin on that Zoe, opening pick, untraded, everything you could want for the first minute of the round. At that point on, Parabellum, on all honesty, seemed to be stalling out a little bit. Minute and a half had passed, they were struggling to find an opening, but, as you said, Kool-Aid decides to Chad, vault through a window, manages to get that kill. Moreover, a second one onto the Maestro, or to the Alibi, excuse me. Exactly what you want. But the moment right there, if Gomez retakes up top, that whole thing changes. That whole dynamic changes. Because Parabellum secured vertical control just based on the vault. Based on the vault, they just cleared out the top floor. Nothing mattered at that point. But then, if Gomez just lands those shots, he's got hatch. He has the stairs. He has Parabellum worried about what the hell he could possibly do. That enough could swing the round. Who knows what could have happened at that point, but instead, he traces his back, fights the wind, but loses the fight to Kool-Aid and then later the round.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. If Gomez just lands those couple shots, that round, I mean, I would even say it's irrecoverable for Parabellum with the positioning. Kool-Aid will sit himself 12-4, by far and away the kill leader right now. A 3.0 KD for Jam Jam. And we're going dining. Arial Arise will swap sites instantly. And they'll go, of course, be setting up on the top. Wimpy and Diaz, the main two, perhaps joined by a third. Usually Kento would be positioned up there with them. Beastly and Gomez, of course, on the site. They can play with their C4s from below and help out these roamers. Yeah, Kento's going to be in bathroom. So this is interesting, right? Throughout this entire playoff so far, Spirits has run the Spear on Finca, and now he's swapped to the LMG.
More bullets never hurt anybody in Siege.
Yeah, he's figuring he doesn't have enough kills because he doesn't have enough ammo.
Ah, yes. That is clearly the problem. Nothing else could be going on. Lack of bullets must be the issue.
It's like, remember when they interviewed Joystick and they were talking about Nomad, and they were like, Joystick, why is it sometimes you use the ARX and sometimes you use the AK? And he goes, sometimes you need more bullet.
I mean, it is true. Right now,
Sometimes
though,
it's as simple as that.
confoundingly, actually, to that point, you're making ARX with 21 bullets. Kool-Aid gets the opening pick with the exact same ammo count. Manages to find Wimpy, the player holding those solar stairs. The fact that you're able to get that frag without much utility expended, beautiful by Parabellum to start out that first minute. It took a lot more from Arial Arise. Usually, Wimpy repelling in to make that same progress, but, I mean, honestly, Harrison, I'm thinking the same thing you are.
How far up was he? He must have pulled a Raffy.
He had to have gotten aggressive on that window, or Jameson just curved bullets.
Or just like... Because you know how... Whoa! Kento just got destroyed.
I mean, he's watching the flank. Really?
Oh!
Really, Gomez? I mean, you gotta...
They just died from there, man.
You gotta make a play, but the same angle?
Well, at least Beastly will bring one back.
Yeah, but
Kool-Aid. He goes down, but yeah, that was...
I mean...
That's hard to defend, Gomez. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, man.
Like, Harrison... Not the best to see, especially now 4-2, potentially match point on the line. I respect the idea. You got to make a play, but now more so than ever, DS Lucas and Beastly need to show up. They've decided to both stick inside of dining for the moment, holding fast. Nobody from PB has yet to move in, but then again, they have a minute left. They can really do whatever they want in this minute. Gain intel, whatever. Rotate, which appears to be what Spirits is doing. One player currently outside the west main window, eager to jump on in. That's exactly what they'll do in this moment. DS Lucas on the long angle will spot one running down those solarium stairs, but is unfortunately not able to take the shots. It's just at Eska to see a sliver of somebody sitting inside a dining with a nade in his pocket. He sends it on out. Does it land? It doesn't kill him, but it's Penguin to capitalize off of his rotate out of the position. Spirits caps things off. We're one round away from PB finishing what they started on map number 2. Harrison? Looking like Arial might be asleep at the wheel.
And this is why people say you don't bring PB to Chalet. They have this map figured out. And it is showing beautifully on display. Shimmering. As Arial Arise, Carter.
Harrison.
With the entire match, the grand finals, the relegation game against Exet on the line, Arial will go down to the basement.
Defenders, protect your bombs from
One of the most
5 seconds.
unpopular sites in the game.
Bomb
For very
located
good
5
reason. I'm sure Arial right now figuring, hey, if PB can do it, so can we. But
Well,
if PB's defense is that good, they must have an even greater understanding of how to attack it.
but here's the issue with that logic, right? PB's Arial Arise's big problem in their attack was their very one-dimensional attacks. Not only on all sites, but in basement in general. Only pushing from wine, not playing the vertical. That was a major issue.
10 seconds left before
But Arial Arise, right now, on their roam, or on their defense, look like they're getting aggressive. They need to play that hatch. But PB have not shown the same inclination of getting one-dimensional. The first round is a little bit of an exception, but that round especially, they took Solar. I mean, in all fairness, they didn't even need to get three-dimensional because everyone from Arial Arise swung at the exact wrong time. This go-around as well, onto Wine, they need to make this roam work. They have to hold out inside of Dining. They're making it a focal point of their execute. The PB are full clearing the map. This was a mistake that Arial Arise might have made in not clearing out that roam, not fully diminishing their manpower. PB aren't making that same mistake.
If you figure that they'll be efficient enough in the site transition that they can take the time to clear this roam. I'm sure that's what Arial were worried about and why they tried opting to go direct. There's only one person all the way on this top floor, but Kento is going to join Diaz in his flanking endeavor. We also got Wimpy hugging the blue stairs. I believe that's going to be Gomez as well inside Dining? That's what it looks like, yeah. Inside of Dining. He's watching the main stairs. Wimpy shotgunning up, won't land on anyone. Spirits is the closest man to him. So far, there's a lot of movement, but not a lot of engagements for Parabellum. I don't know if they've spotted out these roamers just yet. I mean, maybe seeing how dedicated they are to the roam, they're transitioning to the side execute. I'm not sure, because PB's clear right now is pretty slow.
Well, for the moment, slow is exactly what players like Kento and Gomez, with that environment they thrive in, but Spirits opens things up onto Wimpy. Thankfully, Kento is there to even things out, but Spirits has managed to clear out the player inside of Blue. A massive position to take down, but Kento is still alive, and that itself is a host unto itself. He's still holding out, but Gomez has rotated back. He's got to hold down Blue to try and stop this incoming push. Spirits looking to take the fight. He has a frag grenade to cook. If it ends the Mozzie's life here, that could be the game. They might sail on in after. But Harrison, they're sending it down main. The diffuser's going down. A minute left. They're staking their claim inside a snowmobile.
Penguin's still worried about a potential flank, but there's the nade from Spirits. Kento refrags melted, though, as Beastly gets Spirits. Penguin, though, in the sight. He's joined by Eska. It's a 2v1 here against this Jaeger. Kento's still up in Dining, but no, he'll drop the hatch. He's found the rotate, but he looks the wrong way. It's all up to Diaz, stuck inside of Blue. He wins one fight. It's a 1v1. Eska Diaz, the sledge versus the Jaeger. A nade being sailed in. It'll do a little bit of damage, but Diaz shakes it off. He's going to need to, but Eska's got another. He knows there's no coverage for this Jaeger as Diaz starts to ascend the blue stairs. He doesn't want to be too aggressive, and Eska knows it. He's going to start this plant, but he's exposed to the rotate. Eska, what is that plant spot? Diaz moves in for free and saves the round for Arial.
Not only a poor plant spot, but maybe you could say, oh, he's going to bait the rotate, maybe try to take the engagement, but he doesn't even fall off. You know he's in blue. You just saw him and then naded him there. And yet, despite Penguin's best efforts to open up that entire site, his entry single-handedly opened things up. They were already trending towards success, but that was the catalyst that sparked the fire that opened up that round for PB. Fully put Diaz on the back foot. But Eska, that's the spot you choose? 30 seconds left. The only pressure you're under is the pressure of match point. That's the best you got? They're still only one round away, but we're going to need to see something better in their final round if it's coming soon.
Yeah, I mean, as clutch as that was from Diaz, that round was fully in the favor of Parabellum up until those final moments. The push from Spirits in really opened up the site. This is worrying, Carter. We're on bar.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? On bar as well, obviously we mentioned how had Gomez retaken the top floor, that round probably goes in the favor of Arial Arise.
10 seconds to insertion.
Excuse me. Probably goes in the favor of Arial Arise. But at the same time, keep in mind how good it was looking for them. Parabellum were forced to just send Kool-Aid and another player vaulting through a window after losing the opening duel due to a C4 from DS Lucas, and Kendo just happened to peek at the wrong time. That engagement doesn't happen. For all we know, there could be an incredibly different round that involves Arial Arise retaining the man advantage. We're not entirely sure. So while they ended up losing the round, keep in mind, it was looking good to start for Arial Arise.
That is true. Kool-Aid doesn't do what he did. That round might not be so successful, but I mean, Parabellum still, their lead right now by 3 rounds is significant. There's someone lurking in the basement. Gomez entrenched, maybe looking for a run out. Not quite sure what his play is there. Maybe just lurking up for a flank later in the round. Kento is holding Chimney, though, attempting to shoot drones as he goes in. Spirits seems to be slightly aware of someone perhaps playing there, but Gomez has since ascended from the basement. And he'll likely go upstairs to assist his roamers in library. Diaz will prep a nitro cell, but that might be shootable from the window? I'm not quite sure. Penguin has to hear it, right?
Oh, yeah, you can see him. Either he's peeking or he doesn't. Maybe he actually doesn't know of its existence. No, he shoots the alibi clone, but it's Wimpy to Beast. End in the end!
Oh.
But wow, a double peek, a transition, 90 degrees to the left, ends Spirits outside on the office balcony window. This is the exact situation we were worried about, Harrison. Kento might have fallen, and it might have been all up to Wimpy. But since Kool-Aid doesn't get lucky on that engagement, and in fact, there is no such engagement, Penguin shut down on the entry, Parabellum are stuck trying to push into library. Pillar has been rotated out. Arial Arise have left it. Parabellum now have control inside of library, and Eska can get to work on these holes. With a nade in his pocket as well, he can send one down into stock to end the life of the Maestro. Wimpy could get another kill, but the info is all he has. No more kill, and still, though, Arial Arise in the lead.
Close from Wimpy. Diaz getting tagged up from above. He will vacate the area down over towards blue. Kool-Aid now painfully aware of that potential position from the alibi as he spots the holes being opened. But no, Lord. Wimpy! Long range, a triple kill for him. And Eska misses his nade onto Beastly. The Maestro still in bar stock, unabated. 2 versus 4 for him and Melted. Melted now outside the main window, no case in hand. It is dropped by Kool-Aid towards top main stairs. Eska's going to try and descend blue. There's no one for him to find just yet. Just the Cade all the way at the bottom and the camera spotting him out. Angle being held by a Wimpy, though the alibi will miss his shots. Beastly finds Melted, and it's a 1v4 for the Sledge. This round completely spiraled out of control. Taking a beating is the Sledge. No kill for him, and the pistol for Gomez finishes. Arial Arise take round number 10, and we're 2 away from OT.
2 away from OT, and Harrison, that is exactly what we set up. Series.
It's also funny because it's a complete turnaround from what we saw in group stage.
That is true. Wimpy was kind of lackluster.
Wimpy is simply just a playoff player. But once again, we're going to a site Arial lost their previous attempt, Dining Room. And they lost Dining pretty handily. PB were very confident on this site take. Though, we could perhaps lend their dominance over to a bit of unwarranted aggression on the side of Arial. I think that's definitely a fair argument. So if Arial peel back, don't give PB the opportunities, again, You know, PB have been playing fast, they've been playing loose. And the rounds Arial Rise have been decently passive. That's where they've had the best chance of winning. And they need to keep abiding by that rule if they want to bring us to OT.
5 seconds remaining.
Arial doing the opposite of what PB did to them in this dining round, which would be capitalizing on PB's aggression as opposed to vice versa, seems to be the key to their success so far. Then continue it. One round closer to match point, as you said. Same setup. We're gonna see Wimpy in all likelihood holding those solar stairs, trying his best to either ADS trick or hold out as long as he can. Might see Parabellum go below, try for a nade, maybe send Eska to pinch him out. Would certainly make Wimpy's life difficult, but with those Aruni gates on the windows in tandem, it's going to require a large amount of utility for PB to clear, but right now, they're not setting up over there at all. They're setting up for a library take, a complete 180 from what they did previously. Oddly enough, since it was so successful for them in the prior rounds, now they might find Kento on the roam, who will certainly not be in good company with all the members of the attack stomping above him, but it does mean the Arial Rise have to account for something entirely different.
The PB don't clear from Solar. They've already taken full map control on the west side of things, just because there's no one there to meet them. I imagine their play will be to open up the master wall. Now, fortunately for them, there's no vertical set up at all from the defense. Look at this. The office floor is completely intact. So all they need to do is open that wall and hold. There is no need to fully take that map control before transitioning down to the dining wall, and that could be something that allows PB to just have way more manpower allocated to that execute. Gomez has that window prepped for the run out. Spirits is ready for it. I guess we'll just have a waiting game between these two players as PB look to open up the site wall.
Nade goes on in. Now we can have the Hibana rotate over to open it up. Can be a little bit dangerous for those X-Kairos. Not exactly as forgiving or big a hole as a Thermite would give, but you can certainly make do. It'd be difficult, but it's doable. Problem here is with none of that verticality, Harrison, what are Arial Rise to do? They have to. Two of them will, in fact, rotate back down. Wimpy certainly isn't going to be the guy to open up. What's he going to do? Use his 416 ammo to make those holes halfway as PB are executing? No, that's likely not going to be the play. What we're looking at right now is maybe, just maybe, the one C4 Beastly has and the angles at their disposal. But Spirit's pushing up, finds Kento. 3v5, Harrison. Is this the game? It might be the end in the next 45 seconds.
Oh, it certainly could be, especially with that kill from Spirits. The plant is going down, and Diaz and Wimpy, they were upstairs looking for the retake. The plant is going to be confirmed, and PB, 5v2 post-plant. One of them hits the floor. Kool-Aid, his head gets blown off by Diaz. But is that going to be enough to mount the comeback? The defense has 30 more seconds, and Spirits has the west main cut off. Diaz now peeking over towards the breach. He doesn't have any info to work off of. You can see with the way they're playing, and PB still has a drone. Melted takes out one, and nearly the second. They both run out of ammo, but there's Spirits. Parabellum are your Stage 3 Challenger League World Champions. They booked their ticket to Vegas and to the relegation match against XZ. They are one step away from completing the greatest Cinderella story Siege has ever seen.
I mean, how do they get away with it, Harrison? Every time we see them running out of rope, no way back to the top, and yet somehow, after a loss to IF, immediately sent to the losers bracket.